Hey guys, Riley Owen. Today we're doing a review of a favorite of mine, Dude, Where's My Car? Originally written as a Beavis and Butthead movie, Dude, Where's My Car wasn't the groundbreaking smash the studio was hoping it would be, but got decent reviews and was beloved enough to get released on Blu-ray. Cool. Directed by Danny Liner, who also directed this masterpiece, Dude, Where's My Car is the story of Jesse and Chester, who after a night of hitting the drugs, wake up the next morning not remembering a thing about last night. This is a problem, however, as the night before they got into the weirdest and wildest situations of their life, with tons of people who need answers. This includes their girlfriends, Wilma and Wanda, an angry street gang, a transsexual stripper, bubble wrap wearing space freaks, and much, much more. As they retrace their steps to figure out where they parked their car, they encounter these people and other obstacles, like identity theft, a suitcase full of stolen money, space aliens, and a blind kid. With a plot like that, you can expect that this movie is not meant to be taken seriously in the slightest. I love this movie. In fact, it's one of my favorite movies. It just hits that sweet spot for me. It's obviously taking place in its own universe, and many have said it's the most cartoony live-action movie they've ever seen, and I totally agree. There's a lot to unpack here, so I'll be breaking this down into sections. The first section, the comedy. This is a comedy, and you don't have comedy without good jokes, and luckily, in my eyes, Dude, Where's My Car checks that box. Not all the jokes land for me, but that's because there's a few types of jokes in this movie. The first type is those tiresome bits you see on old 90s SNL. I don't know, it's like what your dad and grandpa like. Examples of this is the dude, what does mine say, sweet, what about mine bit, or the honorable bit.
Honorable. I think you're trying to say honorable.
Shut up! There's also a good amount of sexual humor, which I'm a really big fan of if done right. Here, it's done okay. Not bad, but it could be better. There's also a lot of double act humor with Jesse and Chester. One thing happens to Chester, the same thing happens to Jesse. Very hard to explain, it's very fair and even. There's also this weird thing this movie does. For comedy, I've never seen this anywhere else. It's freaking hilarious.
Yes, you did! No, we didn't. Yes, you did!
No and then! No and then! No and then!
No, and then.
Stop copying us.
Stop copying us.
Stop copying us.
Stop copying us.
Bitch.
I don't know how to describe it, but people would be having a back and forth argument, and instead of someone saying the same thing in different takes, they just repeat the same clip. And finally, there's the racial humor, which there's not a whole lot of in this movie, but there is some stereotyping, like with Old Pizzicato, or, dare I say, Pierre.
Here!
The music. The soundtrack for this movie is very punk rock, which I'm just gonna say it, I'm not a big fan of, okay? But the score is freaking amazing. It's beautiful and very comical at the same time, which is really, really hard to do. Take a listen. It's really fun. The music was timed to the beats of the film, and this is a comedy, so you gotta sort of have rhythm to it. And the music goes really well with the visuals, so the sound design and the visuals really mix very well to mesh into a single art. The characters. There's a lot of characters in this movie. Too many to name. I mean, I could name them, I just don't want to, so I'm going to go through the main ones. There's Jesse and Chester, who are the heroes. Both pretty stupid and have a reputation for messing things up. In the finale, they made their first good decision, so-called, in the movie. Wilma and Wanda, easily the biggest threat to Jesse and Chester. They're nothing without them, and they're everything without them. Oh, and I gotta talk about Old Pizzicato. He is easily the best part of this movie other than the music score.
A unicorn.
What?
Damn. Now those are some big ass panties.
You fool!
Oh, and we can't forget Jeff.
Hey.
While never a massive success, Dude, Where's My Car was successful enough to have a sequel planned, but not successful enough to actually have the sequel made.